Reen woke up late, as usual. His eyes were heavy, and his room was a mess of failed exams and scattered notebooks, the same scene that had become part of his everyday life. He went down from his room with slow steps and found Hana preparing breakfast, trying to hide her worry. He left the house carrying a sense of defeat before the day had even started. The way to school was just like his daily routine: students talking, people laughing, and him walking alone, always silent, like he didn't exist. He entered the class right as the exam bell rang, sat in the last seat, and everyone was ready, except him. He opened the exam paper and was shocked to realize he'd forgotten everything. The words in front of him weren't in order, like his mind refused to help him. He tried to write, but stopped after 2 lines. He handed in the paper, knowing the result before even seeing it. After the period, he got his result. The same mark, the same word that kept hunting him: failure. His eyes froze for a moment, but his heart dropped. In the hallway, Kaito met him with a mocking smile and a new round of bullying. He snatched the paper and made fun of it in front of his friends. Reen didn't respond, just a glance downward and a lowered head. He left school walking alone again, holding the paper in his hand, not knowing whether to start a new day or keep running from a day that felt just like the one before. He stopped at the front door of his house, hesitating, afraid to go in, afraid to see his mother's look, afraid of tomorrow, but still forced to enter. He stands at the door for a long moment, scared of showing his mother another failure. When he finally walks in, Hana sees the paper immediately. No words are spoken, but the look in her eyes says everything. Dinner is quiet. Too quiet. Reen barely eats, and every second he feels the weight of his mother's worry pressing on his chest. He escapes to his room, but the silence breaks him. He collapses onto the floor, fists clenched, trying to hold himself together. Then he hears his mother on the phone, her voice trembling as she admits she doesn't know how to help him anymore. That was the final push. He slips out of the house into the cold night, walking with no direction, drowning in thoughts he can't escape. Rain starts to fall, and soon he's soaked, standing alone under a streetlight. His tears mix with the rain as he drops to his knees, defeated. But then, a speeding car almost hits him. The tires screech, water splashes everywhere, and for a second it feels like the whole world freezes. It didn't hit him, but the shock shakes something deep inside him. This moment is the start of the real change. Reen stands frozen in the rain, realizing how close he was to ending everything without even meaning to. The driver's voice fades into the background as his mind fills with 1,000 thoughts all at once. He walks home slowly, drenched and shaking, not from the cold but from the shock. At the door, Hana waits anxiously. Relief fills her eyes when he walks in, but the moment she sees the ruined exam paper in his hand, the sadness comes back. That look alone hits him harder than the near accident. In his room, he sits on the floor, staring at the soaked paper. For the first time, anger rises. Not at his mother. Not at the bullies. Not even at the exam. But at himself. Suddenly, memories flash through his mind, every humiliation, every failure, every disappointed look, and the sound of the tires skidding next to him. He stands up, his breath shaking, and something inside him shifts. That night, for the first time in a very long time, he sits at his desk. Books open. Notebook ready. Determined to try, even if he doesn't know how to start. It's a tiny step. But it's the first real step in his new life. It begins with a new day. A little different from the days before. Reen wakes up early for the first time in months, looks at the notebook he was studying from the night before, and feels a small feeling. Weak, but still there. The desire to try. He went to school, not expecting anything new, but the moment he walked through the gate, someone walked in behind him who hadn't been there yesterday. Kai, the new student with calm features and eyes that seemed to analyze everything. They crossed paths in the hallway, and there wasn't a single word between them. But Kai looked at Reen with a strange look, a look like someone who'd seen something no one else noticed. In class, all the students talked about the new kid, but Reen was still sitting in the last seat, like he was always outside the picture. After class, as usual, Kaito came over to bother him. But suddenly, Kai appeared in front of him. No shouting, no violent move. He just stood up to the bullying, and made Kaito back off for the first time. Reen was shocked. He didn't understand why some stranger would do that. Kai walked away without even looking at him, but the effect was clear. At lunch, Kai kept watching Reen from a distance, observing him without coming closer. At the end of the day, he stood at the school gate like he was waiting for someone. And when Reen came near, Kai walked beside him. Without a single word. It was the first time Reen felt like he wasn't completely alone.